What's up all you gamers? Here we are, we're back at the gun range. So that can mean only one thing, time for another build. If you want to see a build I've made that I think is really good with the ongoing directive set and the pestilence, then stick around. That's coming up next.
Pew, 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 pew. Whee.
Welcome back all you guys and girls. If you're like me and you've managed to pick up one of these bad boys before, this one right here, this is the culprit, the pestilence, and you thought an exotic drop, amazing, and then you've used it, and you've cried, or you've dismantled it, or you've cried because you've had to dismantle it, or you just glared at it, because it didn't do what you thought it was gonna. The pestilence has always been, in my eyes, very underwhelming. But now, it actually works. So, this is the pestilence. Not bad. Not amazing. Not gonna light the world on fire, shall we say. But it's alright. Couple of headshots. Now, the tick damage from the actual move of the pestilence, which I can never remember. Let's have a look. Plague of the Outcasts. That's the one. Sorry, my throat went then. Hits apply a debuff, dealing 100% weapon damage over 10 seconds. This stacks up to 50 times. That's massive. That is massive. Whenever an enemy dies, the debuff stacks are transferred to a nearby enemy within 25 meters. Which is really good. As long as you can kill enemies. So how are we going to make it so we can kill enemies? So you saw the damage earlier. Now have a little look now. Right, so we'll take him out. And if you have a little look down left underneath the 75, we have 95 hollow rounds. What are hollow rounds, you see? Well, look at the damage now. Go on. Over there. 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 Now they're all taking that tick damage as well. So basically they'll get bleed damage, and then if they die, they'll pass on the plague, and that will do an extra damage, and that's where you get the big damage from. Now, one of the misconceptions of this set, if you have a little look here, if you're anything like me, you thought the ongoing directive set was going to be all about status. So you stacked up on your status, you made it all amazing, and then you might have been a little bit underwhelmed. It's not about status. Even this gun, funnily enough, is not about status. It is about stacking pure weapon damage. Now, I'll go over what I've got, but bear in mind I don't have it maxed out on everything, so you will definitely be able to get better than me. Now, with the pestilence in the primary slot, as you can see here, it's a good roll. It's not perfect. The main thing you'll want is LMG damage, but that is still a good roll. Secondary slot, I'm not going to lie, I never switch weapons. I never ever switch weapons. For this, I've just got something that puts on a status effect. So, sorry, not a status effects. Adds headshots grant plus 50% status effects damage and duration to the next status effects you apply. It's not a bad one to have. Either that, or I would think probably going for a nice sniper. If you've got a sniper, chuck that up there. I never switch to it. Your ongoing directive, you're going to want the mask, you're going to want the chest piece, you're going to want the holder, and you're going to want the gloves. Now I'll show you the stats that I've got. Weapon damage good, status effects, skill duration. If you can, red them out. Red them all out as much as possible. Status effects do not make or break this build, because it only applies to the bleed damage really, and you're never going to get that high enough to matter. So I think weapon damage and possibly crit, head damage, or your crit damage, whatever ones you want to stack, to be fair. If you're really good, go for the crit damage or the headshot damage. The headshot damage might be best on this actually, because you're never going to be overwhelmingly like high on your crit. So obviously on the chest, like I said again, nowhere near perfect. Get rid of status. Same again over here. Weapon damage nice. Not perfect. Well, weapon damage perfect, sorry. I mean, the next one you could have changed. Over here, I find the best bag to have is by far this bag right here, the Petrov. Just because it does LMG damage 10%. Now, if you have a look, I'm still missing. I've got 8.7 out of 15 damage up there. And the others are alright. They're not amazing. Applying a status effect increases total weapons damage by 18% for 20 seconds. That's what you want. That talent right there means that you are going to have 18% extra weapon damage every time you've got a status effect on. The whole build's about applying that status effect. And obviously this one right here increases hollow point among weapon damage and amplification to 34. I'm forgetting how to speak it. Sorry, Bill. Increases hollow point ammo weapon damage amplification to 35%. So as you can see up here, the stats of ongoing directive are 15% status effects, 30% reload speed, which is nice because you're using the LMG. Killing a status affected enemy grants the hollow points, and that will amount to 35% because you're using the chest piece. And then, what did I get to? The gloves. The gloves are actually really good. But yeah, and the last creme de la creme on top of everything is pretty much this one right here. Sawyer's knee pads. So, why Sawyer's knee pads? Why would you put something that's an armor build into a pure damage build? Well, it's damage. Increases total weapon damage by 3% each second you are not moving. Stacks up 10 times until you start moving. All stacks are lost after moving in 10 seconds time. Basically it means with this build you want to be standing behind cover, getting headshots, getting good shots on everyone, spraying and praying just to apply all the bleed to everyone as such, getting the kills, get the plague of outcasts on them, and then just massacring everything really. This works on heroic as I've tested it out. It's a really nice build, a really nice build. All in all, you've got a little bit of tankiness about yourself. Not going to light the world on fire. You can't run into like heroic people over and over again without dying, but you have got that which helps you a little bit with your armor and your health. This thing right here mows down most people and then passes on the disease. Over here, what I tend to find is the best, just because you will be doing a lot of the load of work on your own. What I tend to find is the best is the fixer drone. It just helps you out a little bit, and if you're ever running into a bit of a bad situation, you can get into a bit of cover and it'll sort you out. And then obviously what you need here is something to apply some kind of status. I've gone with the Stinger Hive. I think it works best in this build. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But yeah, also I've gone for the Gunner class, pretty much just because it gives you the weapon handling that you need with this gun. More ammo on the actual belt, which is always nice, and it pretty much just goes best with this build. If I wasn't going to use this, I'd probably go for tech and then get a little bit more repair as such or something along those lines. But it's totally your call. I think Gunner works best with this build, but again, each to their own. Everyone's got their own playstyle. Alright guys and girls, I hope that's helped some of you out. I think this is a really good build. You can pretty much just spray and pray, as you can see here. Don't worry about accuracy. You don't want to be moving around too much, otherwise you're going to lose the buff from the knee pads. But it's a really fun build, and I'm going to show you some gameplay footage next from some heroic stuff, just to make sure you know it's actually viable. As always guys and girls, hope you've enjoyed the build, hope you get to try it. If there's anything you'd like to add, then chuck it in the comments if you think there's any ways we can improve it, or if there's anything you found out that I've missed. And if you'd like to join the Sofa Squad, there'll be all the latest and greatest Xbox stuff, more Division stuff coming up, and just generally fun builds, guides, hints and tips. As always, guys and girls, I'll leave you with some footage now. Take care. See you all next day.
Hostile radio intercepted.
I'm heading upstairs to the hostage. Everybody, get to the atrium.